Hi, I'm Joe Johnson. Today I'm going to be talking about the e-learning predictions. So where e-learning is now, what that means, and where I think it will be in the future. So the three categories I'm going to be talking about are one-to-one computing, online gaming, and MOOC. So first I'm going to talk about one-to-one computing. So what this is they basically want access for every student, whether it's a computer, whether it's a tablet or a Chromebook, really for the classroom and the whole district as a whole. So this movement started in the late 1990s. The first state to adopt it was Maine in 2002 to make it statewide. The purpose of this is to increase the student engagement and motivation within the classroom. So to make it easier for them to learn, make it more exciting for them to learn. Some problems that arose with this is instruction is slow to adapt. What this means is that a lot of teachers are new to this type of technology, so they have a lot of trouble bringing it and emerging it into their teaching style that they have already. So they have to kind of adapt to that. There's also not great data on what it really increases. So there was small increases in specific subject content. So science, math, subjects like that. There were recently 85 additional studies done within engagement, problem solving skills, and communication, and saw that they all increased as a result. All of this information was taken from edweek.org. So, as I said before, the purpose of one-to-one computing is to engage the students more. You can also create more personalized content tailored towards that student. Instead of creating one lesson plan for the whole class, you can create one concept of a lesson plan for the class and then tailor using the computing device each individual student's assignment based on their needs. You can also empower children to do more complex work, something that really you're not able to do without computing devices, where it can really encourage students to think and use multiple resources. It will obviously boost their technological skills, and they've noticed that using research from edweek.org, they also noticed that it boosts problem-solving skills as well. So troubleshooting when things aren't working with the device properly. So the future of one-to-one computing, what does this look like? So back in 2013 to 14, schools purchased 23 million computing devices, which is a significant number, especially for around that time. So the problem with this is that the devices must be replaced every 3 to 5 years. So there's a lot of funding that goes into this. So you have to make sure the taxpayers are on board. So there's a lot of movements, like you saw in Maine, they adopted the program. So there's a lot of movements to try and get more access to technology within the classroom. There's, computer carts, something that's been around for a while when I was even in high school. There's something else that they tried to do called BYOD, bring your own device. That's where basically students bring their own tablets or Chromebooks into school. The problem is, what if it breaks and the parents don't want to replace it? So there's definitely some lingering problems, but overall, I think you'll see the increase in computing devices over the next few years for schools. Something that they've done to help the teacher side of it is implementation instructors. What this is they basically have someone come into the classroom to co-teach with the teacher when they're implementing this technology and using it, or they work with the teachers or educators outside of the classroom to help them understand and try and work the implementation technology into the computing devices into their teaching style that they have already. So educational gaming, as we see an increase in one-to-one computing, we will also see an increase likely in educational gaming. So basically, this is using video games within the classroom. It allows for interactive teaching, it allows for hands-on activities for the kids, something that they're interested in. Obviously, kids love video games, so this allows them to learn at the same time. There's multiple subjects I used the website gaming.psu.edu. So some of the subjects that were on there's a game called Econ U, where students will basically create their own university and try to economically improve over the years and to make a stable university. And there's also something called Chem Blaster for chemistry students, obviously, that helps to learn the 52 common ions and polyatomic compounds. So this is a great way to make learning more fun. So, like I said, the purpose of educational gaming is to engage the students. It also provides an opportunity to change instruction. So instead of sitting in a lecture hall all the time, it provides them an opportunity to do more hands-on things, and it really gives them an opportunity to practice what they've been taught. So, oh, I noticed this when we went to the Dreamery. We got a chance to use all these like hands-on activities. We've been learning about a little bit about online gaming when we had like a speaker come in and talk about it. So it's cool to see what they're now trying to implement into the classrooms to help students learn. And it really encourages students that you can have fun while you're learning. It's not this rigorous thing where you're just sitting there taking notes, but that you can actually experience it, and that really learning's all around us, and you can make learning as fun as you want. So the future of gaming in schools, I use the gaming.psu.edu, like I said before, and that's where they have the Educational Gaming Commons. And basically, this is a group devoted to exploring different types of games as a tool to improve teaching. They also work to design custom educational games tailored for your classroom. Obviously, every classroom has a vast different number of students with different abilities and skill sets, so they can make games tailored to those specific subjects and those specific students. And there's also badging, something that we've done in the class. And basically, what badging is once you complete something, you can go online and fill out like a few questions, and it's basically proof that you've done something. So it's very encouraging for teachers. The more badges they get to kind of implement more technology into the classroom. And as I said before, as you see one-to-one computing increase, so does the opportunity for gaming. And some of my classes in high school, we played cool math games, which I'm sure a lot of you have, and also Civics Lawyer, which was basically a game that I've used in several business classes, where I kind of learn about the different amendments and then try to, like, people will come in, like fake people will like come into the lawyer's office, and you will try to help their case by deciding what amendment that they need help on and whether or not their rights were violated. So things like that. There was also games where, like I mentioned before, the econ game where you can kind of build your own university, things like that that I've also done in school. So educational gaming is definitely taking off, and I think this will also continue to increase in the future. And you're going to see a lot of different types of gaming in the classroom, maybe even VR or AR headsets, things that will really engage the students more. So the last type of learning I'm going to be talking about is a MOOC. So these are free online courses for anybody to take. They also have businesses that provide these for their clients. So basically, the courses are free, but you can also pay to have a certification. And so basically, when you finish the course, if you want like an official document saying that you completed it, that you can use for work and on resumes, you can pay money to have that certification. It's very flexible. I mean, it's online learning, so you can use it anytime, anywhere. And it also helps people advance in their careers. So certain workplaces require you to use these online courses to get trained and learn more about it. So edX is part of MOOC, and they partnered with Harvard, Berkeley, and MIT to bring this free online education resource. So the educational purposes of MOOC is you can use it for your own personal development. So whether you just want to learn another new subject area or you're using it for like a training or certification. And as I said, there's workforce training. So different employers can use this to really have like a blanket training for the entire facility instead of having someone like come in and to pay them to train each individual. They can take an online course and then, probably do a more hands-on course within the job. And they have many subject areas. They have biology and life sciences, languages, coding was a big one, and there's also engineering. So all of this information I found on mooc.org, and I think MOOC will definitely continue to increase in the future, which I'll talk about next. So as I just said, I think the future of MOOC will increase over the years as online learning also increases. The cost efficiency for the learner, I mean, obviously it's free. So this is probably the best thing that can happen to a learner. Very flexible. They can learn when they want. They can learn how they want. They can increase in material. So you have access to so many different resources and different subject areas that will also increase in the future. And MOOC is also doing research along with edX to learn how learners learn best. So each course then will be tailored to their new research to try and provide the best learning opportunity for the individual student. So this is my works cited, but to wrap it up, I think definitely one-to-one computing leads to gaming within the classroom. So those two things can be linked together, and I think they will increase together in the future as we do more research on it and get more better ways to implement technology in the classroom. And with MOOC, I mean, online learning, especially free online learning, will continue to increase as the price of traditional education rises in the future. So I think these are three great things to take a look at and to keep your eye on for the future, and that will only continue to increase. And really, the young minds of the next generations will be highly influenced by these three types of education.